Senator Schumer has sent a letter over to House Republicans today indicating the need to cut spending. We certainly agree with that. Unfortunately, the Democrats' idea of cutting spending invariably involves raising taxes as well. For example, on the 1099 repealer vote last week, we did repeal 1099, but unfortunately they proposed raising taxes to, quote, pay for it. We don't really believe you cut spending by raising taxes. And that leads us right into the discussion we're going to have here in the coming weeks about just how much we can reduce this year's spending. And then, as we've discussed in the past, we'll have another opportunity to address our long-term unfunded liabilities and other spending issues because the President has asked us to raise the debt ceiling, and we'll be discussing those issues in that context.
This year, the federal government is spending $3.7 trillion. And this year, the federal government is collecting $2.2 trillion. And then we simply can't continue that. So all of us want to set priorities. We want to fund those necessary programs that we should. But when we're spending $3.7 trillion and collecting $2.2 trillion, you don't have to get very far beyond third grade math to know that our country is headed for trouble unless we reduce spending.
The President has been talking a lot about jobs, and we agree with him. But we also believe that there is a direct connection between spending and debt and job creation. We've heard statistics in front of the Senate Budget Committee of late that when you get a debt to GDP ratio, gross debt to GDP ratio, like we have in this country today at about 90%, that it costs you about 1% economic growth. And according to the President's former economic advisor, Christina Romer, every time you lose 1% of economic growth, it costs you about 1 million jobs. So there is a direct correlation between getting spending under control, dealing with this runaway federal debt, and the impact on our economy and job creation in this country. And we're going to continue to point that out. We're going to be receiving from the House a CR, which is going to be a spending reduction. And that's something that we haven't seen here in a long time. And I hope that the Democrats here in the Senate and in the White House will be open to working with us to getting spending and debt under control so that we can start creating jobs and get the economy growing again.
We want to make it easier and cheaper to create private sector jobs in this country. The rules and regulations that continue to come out of the Environmental Protection Agency, in spite of the President's executive order, are making it harder and more expensive to create private sector jobs and are actually crushing current jobs, and we're going to continue to fight those.
Let me make it very clear. There will be no entitlement reform without presidential leadership. And to the extent that the President is willing to join with us and discuss how we deal with these long-term unfunded liabilities, I think virtually every Republican is ready to have that discussion. But we don't believe we're in this deficit and debt hole because of an inadequate level of taxation. You know, the Congressional Review Act provides the opportunity for Congress to express itself on bureaucratic overreaching, and that tool is available, and I anticipate it will be used one or more times in the House and Senate during this Congress. We have two opportunities just ahead of us to do something important on spending and debt, and as Senator Thune has pointed out, it's directly related to job creation. We have the continuing resolution for the balance of the year. We have the President asking us to increase the debt ceiling. Both of those are opportunities to do something important on spending and debt, which we believe is directly related to the sluggish growth we've had in the private sector. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, good day, viewers. My name is William Sekanden. I'm reporting for MAC TV here from the chambers of the United States Senate. We have just finished listening to some Republicans. They are talking about spending. You know, the Republicans have always been talking about spending as far as the administration is concerned. So about 3 senators came here and they were talking about the need for the Obama administration to cut spending. One of them specifically said that if the government is earning $2.2 trillion, then there is no need for expenditure to rise as much as $3.2 billion. And the other said that cutting of spending is what the government needs to do in order to create jobs. The talk on spending will always continue. And here from the Senate chambers is William Sekanem reporting for MAC TV News.